welcome back to the channel for another parental review. This is Ben, and we are going to be reviewing Sea of Thieves. As before, this is only a guide. This is just my take on some of these. I'm just going to spell it out exactly what's in this game and things to look out for. Of course, at the end of the day, it's your children, your decisions to make, so take it for what it's worth. So let's go ahead and get started. So with Sea of Thieves, one thing you'll notice as we go through this video, it's very cartoony. The water looks really pretty. There's some neat little details and whatnot when it comes to things, but at the end of the day, it's very much a cartoony type game. Now, the one thing I want to talk about right up front is that probably the biggest concern I would have as a parent is the online element is required. There's no single player in this game. It's all online. So if you look here, you can sail with a full crew of players. That might mean jumping on a boat with 3 other players, or jumping on a boat with 1 other player, or even sailing by yourself. Now you might think, well, if I sail alone, at least I won't have to deal with other players. That's not necessarily the case. This game has something that's called proximity voice. So if another player is using his microphone and they're talking and you sail or you walk close to where this person is, you can actually hear them talking. So whether it's, whatever they're saying, your child can hear them say. So just be aware of that right now. I'll show you an example here a little bit later of why that might be an issue. But know that that is a core element of this gameplay is other players, other pirates. So you may have to deal with that. So let's go ahead and get to some of the other issues. As far as the actual game itself, there's not really any profanity. Although there are certain things like you're going to see here in a moment. I'm going to have my character die here, getting killed by skeletons. And as you can see, just watching this, the combat or the violence in the game is all, there's no blood, nothing like that, no gore. The skeletons get dismembered and broken into pieces, but as far as human players or anything like that, there's no there's even snakes in this game, and the snakes. You can slash the snakes with your sword, no blood comes out or anything like that. So this is the death scene. So if you die in the game, you die, it looks like that, and then it teleports you to what is referred to as the Ship of the Damned, I think is what it's called here. Let's double check here. Oh, it's the Ferry of the Damned. So right there, again, not heavy profanity, but it is what it is, right? This is where you go when you die. Even here, you can interact with other players. Like if you die, another player dies. Now you see here, this is kind of what will happen in ship-to-ship combat. So you can fire cannonballs to the other players. You're going to see here that I actually killed 2 other players, and you'll be able to see what it looks like when they die. This first one actually hit him with a cannonball here in just a moment, this next shot, and just like that, he just falls over and basically turns to a ghost. Nothing too bad, nothing too violent. And this guy dies, kind of turns to a ghost. It kind of reminds me of Disneyland Haunted Mansion level ghosts. Even when the bullets, again, this is a pirate game, so they're shooting swords, things like that. Even when the bullets hit them, there's no blood splatter or anything like that. There's a little X that will mark that shows you hit. Now, here's one of the other things I want to talk about is there is alcohol in this game, and there's alcohol consumption to the point that it gets the screen all foggy like this, and your character can actually vomit. And you can vomit into a bucket and throw it on other players and blind them, which, while extremely funny, some parents may not think that that's a fun or an acceptable thing for their children to watch. The only type of blood in this game is what you just saw here. This is where every once in a while you'll get attacked by a kraken. And if you are swiping at the kraken with your sword, you will see some black inky looking fluid come out, so kraken blood, squid blood, whatever. But that's it as far as I've seen here. Now this is an example of player-on-player combat, so you'll be able to hear here in just a moment.
Yeah, I got it. We're good.
The other players talking on the other boat.
I'm responding right now.
So they're kind of discussing with their open microphone, so I can hear them, they could hear me. In fact, here in a moment, I actually had to censor this video as I'm about to help sink these ships right here. I'll just go ahead and let this play for a moment.
Got him. Oh, I killed him, but there was another.
So even right there in that, I had to actually edit it out because I could hear the other player swearing. So that is something, and I was actually recording this as my 11-year-old was in the room. It's kind of a oops. I guess I should have been playing with my headphones on or something. But be aware that that is part of this. As far as drugs, alcohol, I pretty much explained that with the tavern scenes, the bar stuff. Very, very light profanity, violence and gore. Again, it's very minimal. You are shooting people, you are stabbing them, and then nothing very frightening or scary or intense. You can put yourself in cannons and shoot yourself out. That's pretty entertaining and fun. But hopefully that gives you a good idea of the way to make your decision and kind of go from there. Thanks for watching.